Hello and welcome back to the show. So basically, you may be thinking, well, George, what's going on today? What will I be doing? Well, I can answer you that unless you're on playback, in which case you'll obviously know because of the title. But if you're listening to this, anyway, get into it. We're gonna have a little bit of a conversation with some of the politicians who are leaving us, leaving the country because they believe that, the country isn't suitable enough, and that they think that they're better off in a new country, and that country will discuss that in the interview. So, hello, gentlemen, and welcome. Hello. So, you are saying, why exactly do you want to leave this country? Well, the reason we're leaving is because we feel that, it wouldn't be appropriate. While we do not approve of what the previous leader has done, let's just say we don't approve it, but I feel it would be inappropriate to continue to try and reverse the damage that he's done, not only to the party but also to the country. I think really at the end of the day, leaving the party is the only option really, and to create a new party elsewhere. I don't think we can do any more in Northern Ireland. I think that at this point we have to sort of just admit that at the end of the day, that won't be an option. So you're saying that you want to leave and you want to go to a new country, and the country is Dania, it's not. Yeah, Dania is a country. We decided to go there because it's very, very similar to Northern, and interestingly, I'd say if there are other worlds out there, Dania probably doesn't even exist because it was a very unusual historical situation you have there. Which you'll probably go into it at a different time. But basically, Dania is very similar to this country. Which is why we chose to go to Dania. We wanted to continue to be in politics and wanted to benefit the world. And Dania, I actually do have relations in Dania. Well, my great grandfather had descendants who lived in Dania for a while there, and it actually means they have the right to claim Danian citizenship. So yeah, that's why we're going to create a party there. So basically, getting the elements of the Peace Party to, I guess you could say, without the negative annotations, about the history of this party that is developed over the years. Now, some would say you're fleeing because you've seen how your political careers are ruined. Like, no one's going to elect you again. They might elect other individuals for the party, but they're not going to elect you. You were there as he took power. You were there as you elected him. You were there as everything happened there. So don't you think that was a bad thing to do? Look, if I could turn back time and go back in time and stop him from even entering the party, I would. I think it's awful what it's done. I think it's terrible. And I'm just glad at this moment that he's finally going to be gone. I know that you yourself were stopped from broadcasting for a while there due to the situation you had there when you were affected by the strikes. Yeah, would you like to tell me about that? Well, generally I ask the questions, but well, it was very simple. I was a target for. I did make some remarks about his system, and I was just being critical of him on one of the interviews, and I became a target. Luckily, I was a public target, so I was able to seek safety. Unfortunately, of course, that meant that I couldn't continue to produce the show. So of course that meant they had to take a break from it. You know, I had intended to publish, previous episodes and everything, but unfortunately we weren't able to, due to the fact that But I'm here now and I'm able to talk with you, which is good. To see that we see political candidates going off to a new world. And what would you say would be the negative connotations of this world? Well, now I would say that the fact that we had this leader was just it was a wake up call to us in the party to realise that this kind of situation where people just they'll come in to your area, they'll come in and they'll seize the power and all this sort of thing. And the fact that we don't really have the full control, just because of constitutionally wise. Just because of the rules, the basic rules that we govern on, we don't have certain controls that we'd like to introduce that might make it, have press freedom, have all these kind of things here. And these are the kind of things you can get, indeed, now you can get if we were to be elected, yeah. So, do you think you will be elected? Do you think we will be elected? At the end of the day, as you know, I don't really know if we'll be elected or not. I think that, the benefit we'd have is that we're not necessarily a new party. Although we'll be a new party in DNA, they can see that, we are a party that has successes. We've been able to provide this kind of new light onto things. Except, of course, you do have a history. I mean, you were the ones that brought in that trial period, although, of course, nowadays, now it's removed, where you have the trial period of, you're taxing multinationals, you're taxing all these things at a higher area, you had all these policies there. And, of course, you do have the negative association of, having a leader who essentially became a dictator, and the only reason was that he passed away. That was the only reason why you were able to even talk to me today, presumably, about him. Well, yeah. I would say the fact that I don't feel the connection with him. I feel ashamed that he even was able to get into our party, and I just shocked that would happen. As for the fact that we do have some things that people might not be happy about, well, well, I guess I just hope that people will have the good sense to just vote for us, and have the proper system out there. Yeah. So you're recently going up for election, and you're coming up for it now. Now you've been doing a bit of campaigning there. You formed a party. You're on a bit of campaigning, and would you say that your ads are slightly targeted? You're slightly, how you're using social media, you're using all these things to basically target people on voting, which is similar, I would say, to the elections that happened around the world, even to this day. What would you say about that? Well, I would say, I wouldn't agree with you there. I wouldn't say they're targeted. Well, no, yeah, our team have done investigations. So, we set up a fake account in DNA where this person has certain political views, and you target them and say that you'd support their views. And then this other person with starkly different views gets another ad from you which also supports that, except it's changed slightly to support their views. Like, wouldn't you say that that's kind of underhanded in a way? Well, no, not really. Because at the end of the day, as long as you keep your election promises, does it really matter how you get your election promises to people? Well, yes, it does. Because let's say I was to get you, and I was to say, okay, well, I was to launch attack ads and do the same thing. I was to say, oh yes, this new party in Dania, let's reject them. They're invaders into our country. If I was to say that, would you react well to that? Well, no, I wouldn't. I don't think many people who have common sense would, because what do you mean by invasion? It doesn't make any sense. people common sense wouldn't think, oh yeah, these people are coming in, oh they're enemies first. No, they're here to take part in our society. No, they're not enemies. I know, but that's the whole point of adverts, and that's why I would say that your adverts are slightly leading. And I would say that is an issue. That would be one thing that I would feel would be a way that people wouldn't trust you. Well, I don't know about that, but it seems like you're grilling me over now. Why would that be? Well, if I'm being honest, it's because you're now becoming a foreign politician, and you see, here's the thing: if you were in our country, I would say certainly, you would be the future, and you'd actually help. You'd be one of the best parties here. But because you're not here, because you're now in Dania, well, I have to pose the hard questions to get the actual viewers to have an actual knowledge of all your things, all your situations. Of course, we don't know everything about you. Hopefully, I shouldn't be biased now, but hopefully you'll be elected. There was those recent there's the recent system you have there. Dania, where they didn't have too nice things, but hopefully you'll be able to clear up all the problems they have, and head in the future, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but and of course after your after the election, sure, why not come back and join us, where we can have a nice chat about your election results and all this stuff and what you're going to do when you're in power. Yeah, so remember, you can call us back whenever you like, and we'll have your place on the show. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you this evening. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you'll come back to next time when we'll be looking at more things, and hopefully you'll subscribe to our area and come back and view other videos. And well, bye.